Welcome back to Scissors, Balls and Banter. Today we're going to do a host spotlight with Kelly.
Oh, goose.
Welcome, Kelly. I
I'm
actually,
nervous.
I am more excited for people to hear your story.
Really?
I honestly, I love, like, irrespective of me knowing you, I love hearing this from other people. Like, as in, what made them change, like all these different things. So you worked in social work, and now you're in the finance world.
Yeah.
Like, how was that?
So I suppose it was a big decision for me, because I've always been pretty risk averse. You would probably agree with that, Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Like throughout everything, I've always been a bit risk averse because I'm always a bit like, what if this happens? What
Mm-hmm.
if that happens? I always have to make sure that everything will be okay. So, um, yeah, it probably was a huge decision for me. However, it was absolutely all down to Emma, really, because she believed in me, which then made me believe in me, which then and how well and how successful she was doing made me think like I can do it. And I do believe that everyone can learn, like, and it's not necessarily about what your journey's been, but the type of person you are. Like, and Emma always sort of reassured me that it was more about your personality and how you
Mm-hmm.
came across and if you were likable and if you were trustworthy and all these things that um and like your relationship building skills and stuff, which I suppose was like such a huge thing in social work because so important to build
Yeah.
relationships up with like the young people I was working with or um
Which are very vulnerable situations at
yeah.
times as well. So
So
actually, that's probably like it's probably like the worst, not the worst part, but like the hardest part of building relationships at that level,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to then coming into it from a different one where is this easier?
I don't know if I'd say it's easier. I think like the thing is I don't say I'm good at much, but what I would say I'm quite good at is like being able to be a chameleon and adapt my like adapt how I am with other people and adapt like my communication to suit the situation I'm in. And that was so important in like situations working with young people. It's also so important in finance when you're
Mm-hmm.
speaking to people that are like big directors of massive companies or when you're speaking to people that are just starting out and it's not about like changing who you are as a person, it's just being able to communicate at a level that people understand.
Yeah.
And I suppose I feel like that is one of the skills that I do have.
And how did that come about? Like, how did it come about? Where did you approach Kelly or did Kelly approach you? Like, how was that conversation? Like, how did that start?
I think I just like I wanted to grow in general. And Kelly kept saying, "Oh, I want to be a broker," and I'm like, "It's not actually like as glamorous as it looks, or as
Mm-hmm.
great, whatever." But I do think that I did kind of keep saying, "Well, if you did want to do it, this is what it could look like." And I don't really know the time where we actually just decided, like, well, like let's kind of do it, kind of thing. But I'm obviously it's great having like my best friend working with me every day, like sometimes to the extent that like Kelly loves stuff to do in the office, and I'm a bit like, "Oh, I'm going to meet today. Do I just come?" She's like, "Emma, I've got stuff to like, oh, just come with me, like, because I just love our company." So that's really helpful. Like Kelly has always been probably one of the biggest supporters to me. So I felt like if I was going to grow, the kind of people that I would want involved were people that like I do trust and like
Mm-hmm.
I would want around me every day. So that's obviously been great. But yeah, I just seen so much in her like that. I think that there's just so much potential there, and just thought, yeah, let's go for this.
And I think before like we made the decision though, I did come to events with you and I did sort
Mhm.
of
See the other
support
side.
you and I was like in the office and I did go to meetings and stuff just like as support or a cheerleader or like, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, like and things like that. So yeah, then I can't really remember when we actually made the decision, but I suppose that the thing was it was a huge risk. My life was very different when we made the decision and when I changed over in January as to what it is now. And obviously at that time I had to make sure that it was going to be okay and it was okay with Craig, like my husband then, and like it was going to work, like things weren't going to fall apart basically if I made this decision and it didn't work. So, but
And
yeah,
then obviously in January you were like married, and now you're still married but you're separated.
yeah.
Like so that's obviously been a big change in your life, and you've kind of took on a lot of new things at the one time, like a new job. You're now selling your family home, moving into a new house. you're separated from your partner, like a lot of big things in such a short
Yeah,
space of
I feel,
time.
yeah, like, I feel like I don't know,
Lost
like
in
I
the
might get
headlights.
emotional if I talk about it, then
Yeah, very.
Oh, you've done your makeup? No.
I
You
know.
don't.
No, don't do it then.
It's more so the makeup than anything else.
Yeah, what is your makeup?
Don't know why I'm emotional.
Right, how can we make this that it's not emotional then? Like,
I suppose it's real, like it's real, but I'm such an ugly crier as well, so
you're
I'm not
not.
even upset.
You're not.
I'm
Like,
not.
actually might be quite good if the podcast we cry.
Look at this guy.
We get more views.
This is how raw our podcast is.
Where did that go from there? Right, so wait a minute, wait till I pull myself together a wee bit. Fucking hell.
Emma's like, cry, please. We'll get more followers.
I know, but I can't talk when I cry again, so I start doing all that.
I'm like, save your makeup. You paid £60 for it. I'm going to cry,
Fucking
bitch.
80. So yeah, life is really different. Like, and this has probably been like a really hard year, to be fair, because I did start the new job. My marriage has ended. Like, ultimately, I'm selling my family home. We're splitting up the family. Like, I've bought a new house. Like, the whole process has been quite long and overdrawn. Yeah, we're both like, me and Craig are still friends and amicable and things are good, but we're still living in the house. Like, we're still in that process. And then throwing another curve in there, like my dad got cancer and he's been going through all the treatment of that as well. So it's been a year and I probably look back at it at times and think, my goodness, like,
Yeah, that's what I love about it because I think you have went through like a really hard time, but like at the end of it, like you're going to have your own house and you're going to be like standing there and be like, right, I've done this. Like I've
yeah.
changed jobs. I've took that risk that most people probably wouldn't take. Like I know you want to go on your solo holiday that I'm going to get crashed, but like,
Magaluf.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. But like I think you have like, and I think that's a really good journey to see like from people because people do think, oh my goodness, if I leave a job that's really secure and pay me good money to go into something else, is that what if it doesn't work? Or I'm going to maybe if you're not 100% satisfied in your relationship, but you stay in it just for the fact of that's the done thing, or
Mhm.
and there's so many examples where you've probably this year faced them all at the one time, which is a lot for someone to go through. Ideally, it would have not been all at the one time for you.
Yeah.
But I do think that like, to come out the other end of it, like, and I know you're not out the other end of it
Yeah,
yet,
almost.
but like, I do think that it will be like a journey for you. But
Yeah.
like, I think the thing that I've noticed with Kelly is I feel like she chases stuff a lot, and like, I just want her to be like happy and like content because you are your biggest critic as well, which is like, and we've talked about it before, like on podcasts, how she'll slag herself before anyone else
Yeah.
gets a chance to. But probably our biggest critic. But I think that learning to love yourself for you, I think would be really, really important so that
Mhm.
you know like your worth and like how like good you are and so many different things. So I think that the next like few months are going to be exciting and there's so much opportunities within our business as we grow that I want Kelly to be a big part of. But it's just a case of it's so different. So there is such a learning curve there, but that'd be the same for anyone coming
Yeah.
in. Never mind all that you've got in the background going on, but like anyone coming in like would have the same sort of like shit. This is completely different.
I think future you, which is maybe 2 or 3 years in the future, has got to be like, I fucking smashed that. And you actually have done.
Hope so. I do think, like, when I look back a few months, I think, my goodness,
You made it.
was
You
I
done
having
it.
a bit of a midlife crisis? And then I most certainly had a bit of a breakdown. Breakdown sounds extreme, but like I literally couldn't function.
Yeah.
I was not functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've just been so lucky to have like my friends and family around me. Like, so yeah, I do think like, although at times I felt so like, oh my goodness, what is my life now? Like, this is so difficult. How have I got here? Um, I do think that I'll look back and say, well, you've been through most of
Yeah.
the hard
Yeah.
things.
And that's what I keep saying. Like, the only way it is up with stuff like that. So like,
Mhm.
I've seen people taking like hard times, and then like, I don't think you really, I really appreciated like a mental breakdown in such intensity.
Until you seen Kelly.
Until you see Kelly.
Yeah.
But I do think that that is even just a few months ago, and how like much of like a difference that is now. But I think that that is the realism of it, of like when you go through these hard times,
Yeah.
and like, and I know everyone's different. Like for me, and I know you should never really take advice based on one person. For me, I'm always like, when I feel sad, I try and make my brain so active it doesn't have time to be sad, but that's not the way that everyone else is.
Yeah.
Like one of my other friends is like, she'll go to a spa and relax or read a book. Like I can't imagine anything worse to
Yeah, I
relax
couldn't do
than
that.
something like that.
I couldn't though, and obviously you've said that to me, but I couldn't get out of my bed. Some
Yeah.
days I couldn't get out of my bed. Like I
Everybody
literally
does it
couldn't function.
differently.
So,
Mhm.
and even like, but yeah, I suppose it was just lots of big things at the one time. And like my dad is my absolute hero in the world, and he's been through
Our dad
so
does actually
much.
like everything. Like he's the soundest guy.
Yeah, and he's like I grew up and he'd had a triple heart bypass when I was 5. Like he's just had one thing after another. So then when this came about, it just kind of was like, this can't be real.
Mm.
So then going through the breakup with Craig as well, just starting a new job, going through the breakup with Craig, then being a bit like, how can we tell the kids when my dad's also the kids' hero? Like, and they're dealing with that. It was just like, there was just so much to try and sort of manage. But I do feel like now things can only get better, and I can only get better, and I can only start sort of turning things around. And
I do believe every hard situation you go through in life is clearing the path for something else.
yeah,
Like that's the way I'll go. It's like if this lesson that I'm learning right now is because there's something better for me.
yeah,
And I sometimes like it's maybe like airy fairy, but I'm like, no, no, no. This is the and always has something happened, by the
Yeah.
way. Like always every shitty situation that you go through, like there was always something that was like, right, okay, that's because this was supposed to
Yeah.
happen.
Mhm.
And it'll be the same.
yeah, I'm sure it will. But yeah,
A
it's
lot of firsts and new things for you. Which
yeah.
I said this in the very first episode. I'm so excited for it. So
I feel
excited.
like I'm getting excited about it. I
Good.
think that yeah, I think I'm getting excited about it now.
And if you
Definitely,
think
it's been a
of
roller coaster.
like what like going forward looks like for yourself, have you got any dreams or aspirations or anything that you'd want to do like over the next like 12 to 18 months at all?
Well, I think like you and I have spoke recently about this, and the absolute honest and truth is, I don't have the same drive as you guys to like be the best at what I can be. Like I in terms of like you guys having your own business, I've not got that in me to be like, I want to set up my own business. I want to be the best at that. But I want to be good at something, and I want to be good enough that I'm like making myself proud and making other people around me proud. But also I just want to be at a level where I'm providing a good lifestyle for me and my kids. And it's not about being the best. It's not about earning millions. It's just about,
Being present.
yeah, being present, having a lifestyle that I like, because I do quite like a nice lifestyle that will now be a bit of a struggle. Um, and yeah, but like I still look at you guys and think that's amazing that you have that in you. But I do want to clock off at night, and I do
Mhm.
want to spend time with
So
my friends, and I
but
do want
Yeah.
to,
I think that's perfectly normal, and I think
yeah,
actually it's the part of it which probably we're more envious at
Mhm.
because you can do that,
yeah,
and it's in your things and everything you say. I'm like, oh, I could do that. Wish
Yeah.
I
yeah,
could do that.
See, well,
and
see when
Same
Callie,
thing.
remember when Callie was on, we asked her like, what is, I can't remember what the question was, but it was like an answer was like she's most envious of people that can shut off at 5 o'clock. It was an actual like, and I get that. Like, see how like
Mm,
people that can actually like, because I when I worked in HSBC, that was the exact same. Like, I actually felt like I had much more of a life, and also I've got that. Hopefully, one day we'll get back to that.
yeah,
But I don't think that's a bad place to be, to want to have that. Everyone's different in what they want. Like, and that's how the world goes round. If
yeah,
everyone was like insanely like want to be the best at what they do or driven, then it wouldn't work. Like, you need different characters to make the world
yeah.
go round.
And my brain definitely doesn't shut off. I still like think about it, and I feel guilt about it, especially because I work with my best friend, and I'm like, oh, she's working till 2 in the morning, and I'm not. Like
yeah,
things like that. I feel like, oh, I'm disappointing people, I'm letting people down. But so it is trying to find that balance where you know that
yeah.
you're doing enough, but you're also like, yeah, So I do have a bit of guilt and stuff around that. Like,
I know, but I think as well, like, because I work to like crazy hours as well, but I would
hmm
never ask any of my team to do
Yeah,
that.
and
and I
you
think
wouldn't
that's
expect that
different.
Like,
either.
Yeah, like I think like even one of my Danny, I call her, so she's down south. Like I would never expect her as well to like, work like over
mm,
her hours because I think that like it's not their business. Like
yeah,
so,
it is
like
different.
I think when you're in sales and you're doing like sometimes I know a lot of brokers will work over their hours because they'll want more bonus because it's like so if they think right, if I do an extra
Hmm.
2 days or whatever, I might get an extra I don't know 10 grand or whatever. So they'll do it for themselves to get more money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to do it for me if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you obviously have changed careers, which we've spoke about. But what would you say to anybody else that's in or was in your position where it's like absolutely terrifying and thinking, should I do it?
100%. Like, take the risk. For me, obviously, like things that have happened this year have been like every kind of thing has been a bit of a
Mm,
risk. Like, oh gosh, like stepping out my comfort zone with everything. But I just like touching on you saying earlier, everything happens for a reason ultimately, and like rubbish things happen to lead to better things. And I do think like if you have it in you and you have a thought in you that you want to do something, then do it. Like 100% do it. And like I remember even people talking about this is maybe a bit sensitive, but like I remember one of my friends saying to me about my marriage when I was going, "Oh, I don't know this is for me because we've mentioned a million times like my husband or ex is like the loveliest
mm-hmm.
guy. Like he is the loveliest guy, and people being like, "Oh, you've got it good. Like you've got it really good. Like he's a nice guy. You do what you want. You have a nice lifestyle. Do you wake up and hate your life? No, I absolutely don't. And I never have. Like, but does that mean it's right? Like, so even making that decision, and that seems really, really insensitive to say that was a risk to do that because it was a risk, but it's also like people's lives and like
Yeah,
being human. Like, I just think that you have to take risks in life, and if something's meant to be, it'll be, and if it's not, then what's the worst that can happen?
yeah.
Like, can you deal with the worst case scenario? Yeah,
Do you think it's scarier being a woman in your 30s making the decisions than what it would have been like? I always sort of look at that and I think, what would I have been like in my 20s making these decisions? Probably more chaotic and erratic because that's what your 20s was like. But your 30s,
yeah,
I feel like it's extra scary.
yeah. I think the fact that I'm like 37, I've got two children, like I have other responsibilities, I have other things in life that I have to do, and it was huge. Whereas if I was in my 20s and there was less sort of pressure on things, and like when the boys were really wee, I only worked part time because Craig sort of done most of the working and providing, so I could be there for the kids.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to like educate myself. It allowed me to try different jobs. It allowed me to do different things. Like so, I could have just done that in my 20s and it was fine. But I'm now at a point where we bought a new house based on our both of our full time salaries. We bought like we just when we made the decision, I hadn't long been in the like sort of dream
Hmm.
house, and the mortgage was higher, and like I couldn't be in a position where things weren't going to work. Like so, I think I was definitely at a stage in my life where taking the risks was like a bigger risk
Hmm.
ultimately.
Yeah.
But I definitely would just say to people, take the risks. Like life's too short.
Yeah. 100%. I'm
So
exactly the same now, whereas I was exactly like you.
yeah.
Like so risk averse, anything. Like always went to, no, this terrifies me, I'm not doing it. Whereas now
Yeah.
I'm like, it terrifies me, let's do it.
And I think the thing is, people that have met me this past sort of year, 18 months or whatever, are probably like, you're not risk averse. And I'm like, I was so risk averse, like with everything, so risk averse, wasn't I? Just even, I don't know, like silly things like I used to love roller coasters, and as an adult, I was then like can't go on that roller coaster because this might happen. So
Nah,
risk
Hmm.
averse, like
Yeah.
can go in the sea, the sharks.
and oh, absolutely. Like, what if a fish bites me? Like,
Yeah.
It's air.
So now it's just like, nah, 100% take the risk, do things. And I definitely have like things now that because of all the decisions and all the things that have happened in my life, I'm like, I'm going to go and do this and I'm going to go and do that. And I am going to go on the solo holiday. And I'm just going to, and we were speaking about this earlier in Mac, I'm going to make a list of these things that I'm going to like
Do it.
put myself out my comfort zone. I'm going to do things
Right,
that I
so
think
that's actually
scary.
a good question for you. So we were in Mac earlier, and the guy that was doing Kelly's makeup was a really sound guy, and he was saying that he's challenging himself a bit like what Gary was saying, where he does one thing a month that's
Yeah.
out of his comfort zone. So like jumping out a plane and he's bought a jumping spider or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what would be if you could think of top 3 things that you would put on your list that is going to put you out your comfort zone or something that can challenge you?
Oh
What is
my
it going to be?
goodness. I don't know if I can think of a top 3 things that I really, as you've heard me say a million times, I really want to do the solo holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You'll do it.
Only really recently I've thought I want to jump out of a plane, and I absolutely hate heights. There's nothing about that I've ever thought, yeah, I could do that. Like, I just think, oh my God, life's short, fuck it. Like,
You'll feel amazing after it.
jump out of the plane. Turn my head in a wee bit like, I'm going to do that. And I don't know the third one.
I think,
You just can help me come up with
could
that.
be a new hobby. Like salsa dancing.
Yeah. I maybe need to, like, I don't know.
You
if,
do
like,
it. Panto. We'll
Oh,
get Gary to
yeah.
get
Oh
you.
gosh, no, see, to be honest, like doing the podcast is me, and even taking pictures and videos and all that, that's like, and again, people that maybe only really know me recently maybe won't think that, but I am so insecure and hate all these kind of things. So this has already been like me pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And all I do is like absolutely tear myself to shreds when I watch it. But so this is a thing that's
Hence
already.
why Kelly's got a tan today. I've never had
Yeah,
a
orange, I
tan
don't like
before.
fake tan, but today the fake tan 'cause I
You
hate
look
my ugly face
amazing.
pale. So
No.
so yeah, I'm going to write that list and I'm going to update you next time
I
on
think
what's on that list.
for like me knowing Kelly for years, we actually knew each other from we were younger and then kind of drifted apart and then came back together again. But she is probably one of my wildest friends, which is fun. But I'm thinking like, is it a funny story that you could tell her audience about you that
Oh no, it's not inappropriate. Oh gosh, I feel like you're pressing towards a specific story, Emma.
no, just
Emma's
thinking.
got this definite specific story here.
I just so Kelly is just wild and generous.
I'm not wild. I feel like I'm quite boring and calm. No, I can't think of a specific story to tell right now.
No,
She's like eyeballing you, like, don't you do her?
I know. I actually
I
can't.
mean, I
even-
could throw you under the bus and tell us a couple of stories that will involve
Not
us both.
that sorry.
Would you like me to tell some of them? What about when we were in Gran Canaria?
No, please don't.
Okay, we'll leave it at that just now then.
What happens between best friends stays between best friends.
I'll think of a story when I've got my list.
So when you were younger, you played football and then you ended up stepping away from it and have came back. What was your reasons for stopping football and then what was your reasons for going back again?
I mean, I feel to say play football's quite generous because I was never really like a great footballer. But I just loved it. I loved that whole team mentality. I loved being surrounded by people that were just there to like have fun and like, yeah, it was great. I really loved it, and I've got loads of good experiences from it and loads of good friends from it and loads of things that I like remember about the trips and stuff and different things like that. But I guess I just sort of stopped going when I got to the age where drinking stuff became more exciting. And when I played football when I was younger, you literally went from like under 17s to adults. So I was going from playing with people my age to turning 17 and then playing with like 30-year-old women that I was like a wee girl and I was like, oh my goodness, no, like that's like daunting and scary. So I think that's probably why I stopped playing. But yeah, like I said, it was never like I was a skilled footballer. I just like done it as like a hobby that I enjoyed and had really good friendships in. So yeah, that's why I stepped away. But obviously joining again, I always loved it. I always even kicking the ball about with the boys. Like I just enjoyed sort of kicking a ball about and again the sort of daftness carry on. And when I went to Shecan, it was just like fun and good banter, but I suppose that then brought back the competitive side in me again that that led to me being like, no, you can't be, like we need to be more serious here, we need to be
No cartwheels in.
I know. Emma, you
running
need to
around.
defend, like you're offside.
What's offside?
But, yeah, I've always loved football and obviously I've got a season ticket and like I enjoy going to the absolutely not for Celtic, my goodness me. Unfortunately for Rangers because it's been really rubbish. Like
And you EKFC loyal
yeah, I
as well.
probably enjoy the football EKFC a lot more than Rangers just now because it's just better meteor football, isn't it? Like
Meteor.
meteor.
They do actually play. I would definitely say EKFC play better football than Rangers.
Yeah, they definitely do. Like
Maybe
Um,
Cy and Mick should get the takeover from Russell Martin.
oh, that's a good idea. But I actually also love, like, Samuel stopped playing football, but I'd absolutely love going to watch Matthew play. I also do find it frustrating. Um,
And are you
Because
one
you
of the
know
mums at the side that's
I'm
super
I mean,
supportive?
you probably know I can be, but only when I'm like, "Oh my goodness," like,
what
and
does he
Matthew's
shout?
wee
Give me your
quirky personality as well, like, if somebody, like, barges into him, he's like, staring him out, and I'm like, "Get the ball, son. Like, what are you doing? Stop staring at this other child. Be stronger." But no, I love watching him playing, and, it's exciting to think about the journey he'll be on. Like, never I'm not saying, like, he's gonna be a footballer, like, he's just want him to have fun. I want him to have all the experiences of going to, like, different tournaments and stuff and things like that, yeah,
I think
so
that's the
yeah.
best bit about it, is seeing your kids play like that. Like,
Definitely, and I think because I know that I've got the memories and friendships, I'm
mhm,
like,
even more special.
"Oh, you're gonna have this forever if you stick it out," like, and I think kids do go through phases, like, Matthew's going through a phase now where I think this is a difficulty, I think, with, like, coaches give up their free time and they're giving up their free
Mhm,
time to do this coaching, and you have to be appreciative of that, but also it's not necessarily people that understand kids' well-being and stuff, so they don't maybe necessarily understand how each kid deals with things differently. So if Matthew's getting shouted at, Matthew's switched off, he's not listening to you.
mhm.
Like, um, so things like that I find a bit like, come on, because I don't really remember feeling like that when I was younger. Like if I was told to do something at football, I would have just done
I
it.
think sometimes it is just like a coaching, because I remember Ashton. Like he's not sensitive or anything like
Uh-huh.
that, but he's more laid back. Like I don't
Mhm.
know how that boy copes with like me and Freya in the house or anything like that, but like he's more laid back. And I remember the coaches were like effing and swearing and everything like the team he was at, and I just lost it. And I'm
Yeah.
probably the last person to lose it. Like a lot of people, like you see people like that's my son, blah blah blah. But I'm like, right, okay, try and see two sides of it. And then by the end of it, I was like, I'm taking Ashton out. You are dicks. You're this. You're that. In the group chat with all the parents. Then I leave. I'm like, not
Vicky
a
has
fucking
left the
chance. I've
chat.
left everything else, and even now I'm like, I still don't regret saying that, because they were not nice to the boys, and there was
Yeah.
like, I think, and it's like management in any capacity. It's like, doesn't matter what the age they are. See if there's 5, 6 boys leaving at the same time, or 5, 6 girls leaving at the same time. The problem is the coach, the
Mhm.
management, the everything else.
It's difficult because they're so young and it's like it's
So
supposed to be for
impressionable.
fun, but then people don't always view that. Some people are like, well, it's not just for fun. If they want to get better, if they want to do this, and it's like they're 8 and 9. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
Matthew, and
they're
I
doing it
don't
for
even
a
want to say
laugh.
that out loud to say Matthew's not going to be a footballer, but the chances of kids being footballers these days, well,
Yeah.
boys especially, is like really low. Just let them go and have fun. Like,
Mhm.
then I know some people would be like, well, put them to a different team then. Like, you want them to be fun, but like, um,
I think it's a hard decision for for
yeah,
both. Like you see the ones that just love it and probably
yeah,
just want to run about and do cartwheels and stuff like that, and you need to like be
That's
like, oh,
me.
they're
yeah.
sorry, don't worry, I'm impressed you can do cartwheels. I
I
can't
can't
do
now,
them.
my frozen
She
shoulder.
can't lift her arm up.
But like even at that, it's like if they love it, they love it.
Yeah. But it's just that, like, you hope they don't get put off. Like, you hope they
Yeah,
don't go through that cycle where they're like, oh, they're shouting at me. And it's finding that
because
balance of,
that's
like, well, listen,
Mhm.
and how you kind of, I don't know. But
yeah.
yeah,
Don't shout at the coaches.
So you're moving into your new house. Hopefully the date doesn't get moved again.
I know.
And so obviously Halloween and Christmas coming up. What are you most looking forward to?
So I'm so excited to be in my new house now. Like, I'm definitely wanting it done though. Like, I know that people are like, just go in and do bit by bit, but I can't 'cause I'll not be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, I'm downsizing as well. So I don't want to go into a house and not feel comfortable. I just kind of want to get my keys and I want the floors done, the walls done, and
Mm-hmm.
I just want it to be the way I want it to be. So I'm comfortable and happy and settled there. And most importantly for the boys, like, it's such a huge change for them. But yeah, I'm excited to be in my own space, learn to be happy with my like own company, and then just work on myself. And people probably focus more on like work targets and where I can be career wise rather than just like my life's in chaos now, and
Have
like
some calmness.
ultimately like work's not at the forefront of it because everything else in the
Mm-hmm.
background's like chaotic. So probably excited about doing that, getting in, getting settled, learning to love myself, and then having a focus on Like,
Hitting the year
yeah,
2026, hitting it strong.
yeah,
Yes.
getting
Lost bitch.
2026 and like thinking where I could be and
Love it.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably what's I'm looking
Cannot
forward to.
wait.
Great. If you've liked the episode, please like and subscribe on YouTube.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Spotify.
Bye.
Bye.
I ain't right. Got a bad streak a mile